गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू अनदर लाइव स्ट्रीम। तो कैसे हैं सब लोग? तो मैच ऑलरेडी स्टार्ट हो गया है, तो मैं चल है फ्री तो वॉच पार्टी ही कर लेते हैं। तो चलो करते हैं चेक करना।
Need to try a different way to, you know, maybe find a kill here or there on an exit or just die to the spike. So for Bleed, not bad. I like the ideas, but it's just better kind of anti-stratting here by GE, having those Cypher trap wires in place, having the camera at the exit of B as well to make sure that if Bleed came through the spawn, they were aware of it.
Oh. Well, somebody wanted to chip and just see, but immediately gets his head taken off as now Global eSports trying to push through the smoke here. Zest does get that first kill, and it does look like only two of them are going to be able to die to the spike over there. So, you know, Global eSports getting a good amount of value out of that. They only lose Blaze King as well in their anti-eco.
Yeah, it's good prep work here for Global. Again, just having all their bases covered, especially with that Cypher utility on that anti-eco. So doing a good job so far, reading their situations nicely, dealing with any crossfires or flanks that are attempted. Can't ask for a better round other than one player dying, so what, to the Sheriff of Zest. I mean, that's just going to happen. You're totally fine losing one player there, because then you're able to get that extra rifle. You're able to keep the other guns from the previous round. Still have a Bulldog for Russ, but it's not the biggest of deals, as Rubble control continues to be in the favor of GE, but Bleed, Scary, Crazy Guy, and Scary as well getting involved.
Yeah, a couple of kills as now finally Lightning Fast is going to trade it back. But nothing's considered here. Still going to be advantage, and now that's going to even make it bigger for the side of Bleed. Only two members left, Blaze King and Russ, attempting once again to just force it here onto this A site. As the Boombot as well, gonna show the position of one of the members. Russ, I think he's got a read on Crazy Guy here. And there it is, quick shot, but he does take a little bit of damage. And carrying that spike forward, nice peek, and that's gonna be a couple more kills over to the side of Global eSports, and all of a sudden, they've opened up this A site.
That's huge. I mean, just a great piece of work there by Russ.
Spike planted.
Really picking things up. The 1v2. Crossfire once again set up similar to what we saw previously, as they are holding deep in the tree. One by the baby door, just sitting this doubt, and Retla trying to clear all these angles. Has to win this fight against Russ. Takes quite a bit of damage though, so him and Blaze King pretty even. It's just gonna come down to who can suss out who first and get these shots to land.
Well, Retla has a good idea that he is over there. He has cleared a lot of the other angles, and now he's going to try to hold to half. Blaze King looking for the peak, but there's the half, and there's the kill. Retla going to save the round and clutch it for his team. Pretty huge performance there. Able to get the weakened Russ in tree, and then eventually win the duel against Blaze King. Just barely get Bleed across the line there and deny the bonus.
Yeah, this is great work on the early part of the round. Seeding that space intentionally are Bleed. They understand kind of some of the win conditions that their opponents are going to be going for, that GE want to work with. And not necessarily always being able to contest Rubble is going to be part of it because of that Neon, because of that ability to take that space, the deep relay bolts, things like that are going to make it a little bit tougher, that extra layer of utility. That's a great paranoia. It at least stops up GE, and Tyrion fighting two with the Guardian.
Yeah, that is massive. You saw the fast lane set up, and Boldy wanted to make some action happen early on, and, you know, for his sake he did, but they did not win the trade. Darion is pretty low at 21 health, but at the same time is going to go the way of Bleed. Now, there is a pretty fast counter push coming the way of C, but a lot to utility over here, and Retla is going to spot him already, sees a couple of guys, knows the push is coming in, and already a ton of information for the team.
Yeah, that's huge for him. Ooh, a little slow there to react. Blaze King has to back out. Blaze King gets ahead of it, gets two with Russ. Oh my god.
Yeah, that is massive, and the blind coming out, the flash from the breach just allows them to get in, and now Russ has got the Nightfall. They still have not planted the spike yet, but still they do have a decent position here on the site, and it's really going to be mainly up to Crazy Guy, but he has a Bulldog here, so let's see what he can get done. Utilize the Prowler, but immediately just going to get shut down here, and it's only Crazy Guy, and he's not even going to get that shot down onto Benkai. So nicely done by Global Esports to pick up another round.
Yeah, I mean, this play by, I think it was Blaze King there, was really necessary, because Retla's trying to back off to bait them into that crossfire towards Waterfall, but he steps just ahead of it. Watch this. That peek around that corner finds the headshot, and that breaks things open, because then Russ can take his angle a lot more safe from on top of the site. Really nice push and pull there, but Blaze King with such a quick peek around that corner just changes the destiny of that round. Bleed had all the info they needed. They just, GE just getting ahead of it, and it's not even the Neon, right? It's just good play from their Sentinel player.
Yeah, and they were spotted the whole way, essentially. You know, you've got the cam there, the trap wire, they make a lot of noise. He spots more than one member, knows the full push is coming in, and yet still down a member, Global Esports are able to win that round. So definitely one of the more important ones, you would say. Feels like the very close rounds that could go either way are just a little bit more important to drag to your side. Now, Bleed once again on an eco, and Crazy Guy is already taking some damage here, so Global Esports for the 5th round in a row, essentially. You know, they did plant on C, but they started out pushing A for every round so far, as you did predict, paper thin, and they're here once again.
Yeah, but this time around, because of the lack of economy for Bleed, not as much Cypher util to work with, so spreading the map RGE, trying to sell a bit of a fake, but feet planted here for Bleed, right around the corner, already taking one down.
Well, in the corner here is Scary. He's got a classic, and he's looking for some free kills. He's going to pick up 2 and a gun, but immediately does go down. That is a lot of value, though, that he was able to get out of that classic, and a very sneaky spot right behind that box. Lightning Fast now going to just teleport away as he does get this plant down. Still should be Global Esports' round, but Scary certainly making things a bit more interesting.
Yeah, no doubt about it, but so weak now. Hearing those footsteps and just spraying down through the smoke is Lightning Fast. Nice round for him, good recovery. But I like the idea from Bleed having that extra player. You're not often going to have 3 there. Usually you might do like a 2-1-2, like 2 on A, 1 on B, 2 on C, something like that. But having that extra player hiding behind the box catches GE just enough off guard. It's a great entry, great coordination. I have to say, I'm really impressed with Benkai's breach so far. It feels like he's been hitting some really important flashes and stuns and things like that. You know, I think back to the anti-eco round where he was able to stall that push from spawn with his util and things like that, the flash onto C to really break that round open 2 rounds ago. So he's looking really well drilled, really well oiled for Global Esports right now, and they have a ton of ults to work with. But so does Bleed. So Showstopper available, something you have to be really wary of here as GE, especially with so many players right near this mound.
Oh, Darion. Yeah, he's going to stay alive, but here comes Polby, and he's just zapping everyone down. Overcharge coming in, and now he's going to open up this C site just like that. And they're even going to push for more. Low on health here is Polby, only on 27. They're not going to actually hit anybody with that Rolling Thunder, but now Retla going to be the first guy, and he gets the info right before he peeks around the corner. And that is just going to be massive here for the side of Global Esports, who once again get a relatively clean plant here. 3v1. It's only Crazy Guy, and he's only gotten Odin. And that's only going to counter Achilles. Down goes Crazy Guy as Global Esports will hit 5 and 1.
What do you mean? He loves that guy.
Yeah.
Well, they should have saved it. But yeah. This is a bit of a head scratcher now for Bleed. No ability to pop the showstopper because Darion gets shut right down by this util dump from Bleed. You know, you can see that I think the idea for Bleed was to just wait for contact and then pop the showstopper, but it was too fast from GE. And that's the kind of value that Neon gives you, especially with the ult as well, that you feel a lot more comfortable to be explosive off the back of those util dumps. And also another problem for Bleed was that they, you know, that was all kind of like a gamble there because they had the Cypher utility shifted over to A. They were hoping that they could make their ults work, and They did not. So now you have every ult in the bag.
Nice.
Retla's dead.
Yeah, that's just insult to injury. I mean, they get in and just spam through the wall is enough to take him down. As once again on an eco here, our Bleed, they're holding on to all these ultimate abilities, but as you mentioned, they didn't have, you know, they were trying to set it up there outside on Mound in the last round, but now it doesn't look like they really want to use it here unless they get a couple of early pickoffs, and maybe even then, we'll have to wait and see if Darion does pull out that big rocket. As already Russ gonna line up a headshot, and a lot of members just waiting for the utility to come out. Lightning Fast here up on the box, and Polvi is actually going to be the one who does get both of those kills, and that will just be another round in the Global Esports Bank.
Well, and to add insult to injury here for Bleed is just you're chewing through ult orbs right now, right? Like you had all your ults at the beginning of that round, everybody just died on an eco, and you're not getting any extra value out of it. So that's really brutal on this defender side. But GE's just doing a really, really nice job on these entries off the back of Polvi, gets the spot, and then just is able to spray through the wall. That's a really nice jump peek. There's a great haunt there from Crazy Guy, but the gun disadvantage too much for Bleed to really contend with, and they get just shut right down as they attempt to swing through that stairs area. And yeah, definitely a much needed timeout here for Bleed. They're getting outthought at the punch. It's just the speed at which Global, when they decide to pull the trigger, the way they're able to do it, there hasn't been much of a response from Bleed. They do a pretty good job of countering the rubble push with the toxic screen, and then you can throw in like the paranoia and the, you know, that kind of thing. But outside of that, they really struggle.
Yeah, we saw the rounds where Foley pulled out the ult. He just barely dodged the paranoia. If that hits him, maybe, you know, the Neon doesn't get as much value with that ult, doesn't kill the two people outside of Mounds. Maybe it goes a little bit more in Bleed's way, and perhaps they're able to claw back in that round. But just the little things, I suppose, and that's a good time for a timeout, I'd say. You know, the stuff you talked about with the orbs just not being utilized, essentially, not able to get much of anything on your eco round is not what you want to see. You rarely see that in, you know, in Valorant, let alone all 5 members. So certainly something to look for here, as Bleed might be looking to dump some ults in this round.
And you couldn't even use like an ult that's kind of easy to cycle, like the Neural Theft from Retla. And that's really brutal when you can maybe, because you know the Neural Theft doesn't have a lot of ults, it doesn't take long to get it back up. So that's one that you would like to have maybe just found a way to utilize, just get that early pick. They can't even do that. So really credit to GE here. Their game plan is really, really smart, and they're really taking advantage of the open space being given up on the map. If you look over towards Russ on the A site, he's gained a ton of info, and he's going to be able to collapse through Baby Door potentially if Retla doesn't cut him off. And they have a really good execute brewing here. There you go. Oh, what a shot from Scary.
Yeah, that's a big one from Scary. And Darion also killing him just after he had already died, which is not what you'd like. You mentioned the position here of Russ. It's good, but immediately Retla is going to be able to take him down and use that Neural Theft. So now spots the rest of them right out by Rubble and is able to get his team in position here, as well as Zest on the rotation from behind. So quick through tree do come Global Esports. Darion has watched the off angle. And are they going to check this as well? Already down a couple of members. Benkai not even having his gun out. There's going to be a couple of kills over to the side of Darion. And now Lightning Fast just isolated on the site. 11 seconds. They have no idea where he is, but he only does pick up the 1 kill. And that's going to be a solid round to the side of Bleed.
Yeah, and you can see what the timeout from
मेरा YouTube खोलना उस पे कितने आ रहा है?
Put down that Viper's pick early. Make sure that C is really going to be difficult for GE to get through. They don't have a lot of ability.
कितना टाइम क्या चल रहा है?
Get the information inside that pit other than the bait. That's really the only agent that has a lot of that deep info gathering utility that they could use. Like maybe you could sneak a camera in there, but that's risky. So that's stage 1. Stage 2, put
20 seconds का वो है 20 सेकंड का डिले 20 सेकंड का.
Towards A stairs to watch for any lurkers, watch for any deep rotations, and he can, if they go to A, call in the rest of the team for that retake. And with the Nightfall, with the Showstopper, all those ults there, you could have a really powerful retake. But let's go around. All the trap is going to be dodged. It's just a full-on tree push here. So a good identification by GE of some of the space that's being given up by Bleed. You haven't really seen them contest the tree area. Usually if they're fighting for rubble control, it's been from the link door towards B or the stairs. So they're able to find that open space and force a retake out of Bleed.
And they are going to have the Nightfall here. It's going to hit, I think, a couple of members there. And now Russ is going to get that first kill onto Darion. They are looking to push through the smoke here, but multiple members of Global Esports watching this angle. Also, Scary has been taken down, actually, by Polvi, who was able to slide in and get that immediate trade back.
Nice, good run, good run.
Now Retla and his buddy here are just going to back away. Retla and Crazy Guy moving towards B. They say, well, that retake didn't go so well, even with the ult used. So they're just going to let this one go.
Yeah, this is a great read from GE. Great shooting on top of that. Yeah, Polvi is going to get traded down by Retla, but honestly, I'm really liking the way that they're playing this Neon. It's not like breakneck speed. It's just wait for the right timings, find our moment, and then there's always someone there to back them up, whether it be Russ or Ben Kai in particular. You know, those initiators doing a really good job supporting their duelists, whether it be with utility or just swinging with Polvi, because it's so hard when you've got that Neon breaking your ankles like that. You know, yeah, one player might die, but the other very likely to get the trade out of it. And when you're defending against a retake as the attacker, it's a great situation to be in. And here goes the overdrive again. He's just W-keying through, but takes a ton of damage from that spray.
But
yeah,
use it तब भी नहीं आएगा.
He's going to have the fate to help him out, and now just charging on in. Polvi once again going to take down two. And he's looking for a third as well. A little bit of chip damage there on a Darion. He's on 8 health still. And again, they just charge into the A site. Bleed's not able to do much, but here comes Zest in from the baby door. He is looking to back up towards street where there are quite a lot of members, and they are not ready for him. 3 kills go in the way of Zest. Blaze King does trade one back. Now, 2v2. Scary is going to be watched. Nice reposition there from Russ, but Darion will trade it back. Now has to deal with Blaze King. Might have a good idea of where he's at, but doesn't know exactly. And Blaze King this time will win in that 1v1 position. Another round to 8-2 now for Global Esports. Really cooking. And I like the slight change up here in ideas on the execute for GE. Having the Nightfall in hand, it's that push out early that gets the info because of that spray through the smoke. Yeah, it does some damage to Polvi, but then he's able to relay that, hey, there's probably a couple players over here, send the Nightfall, and I can charge in on the back of it, and they are going to be in a world of trouble. So that's a really nice
Bleed की बात कर रहा है, Bleed का पूछ रहा है.
Wasn't that close support like we've been seeing
Bleed
with
तो बाहर
Ben
की है भाई.
or with Russ and Polvi. This time it's more of a long distance thing, but it's kind of all according to plan. Really, oh my god, well that's just not so good for Zest.
Nice.
I mean, on an eco here, they're trying to get some information, trying to take a risk, and unfortunately for them, Global Esports were reading the situation perfectly, waiting for that. Not charging into A this time, knowing the different situation in this round. And so they're able to get 2 free pickoffs early in this one. And wouldn't be surprised if they just send it back into A. Why not? I mean, there is only Retla over there with a cam.
ये भी अच्छी है जो पेन का यूज कर रहे हैं ना ये भी अच्छी है क्रोनोवाइट
changing ideas working the map in different ways. Yeah, you know, A was kind of where they started, and then they were able to find some open space because Bleed started changing up their ideas to try to counter it. So it's really just been GE kind of one step ahead of Bleed most of the way through this map so far on this attacker side. Now it is Lotus, it is very attacker-sided favor in most situations with most teams and most matchups, but especially with that Neon, for sure. You have a lot of advantage in taking the impetus, right? You know, the best defense is a good offense, right? Well, if you're kind of in control of the pace of the map like a Neon can do, it can make it really tough for these defenders, as we've seen with Bleed.
Yeah, it's great to see Polvi having a lot of success on the Neon so far. He's initiating, he's getting in there, and the utility usage to enable him as well from his team has been excellent. So even in that round where they challenged the mount, that was kind of the beginning of it, and then in that last one with the Nightfall as well. Very nicely done, as now trying to peek into a couple of members of Bleed, as Ben Kai will be able to trade it back. He's got 2 health. Crazy Guy always that flash. That's another kill for Crazy Guy. And he can pick up a gun and probably just run away and try to hold on to it.
Bolo.
To be able to find him is really the question. As they say, okay, it looks like he hasn't gone all the way. Polvy's just going to do a bunch of hopping and distracting, but Crazy Guy still getting the kill. Lines up another one. He's going to get 3 kills. Fortunately for him, it is the last round now, but hey, not bad.
Yeah, it's a Pyrrhic victory for sure. I mean, if you can find this third round, I think it's Bleed. You're going to have some hope going into the other side of the map. That being said, everything looks really good for GE. They look really crisp. The teamwork is good. Benkai's really having a good match. You know, something as an IGL that's very, very important for him to have kind of lead by example with the fragging, which he's definitely doing on this breach. But I'm more impressed overall just with the util coordination and the macro idea. I think they're really understanding how this matchup would work. You know, they've got a good read on how to play against this meta comp that people have been running for so long on this map. So really impressed with the work that Spin and Big Time have put in.
What do you think about this timeout right before the half? Seems like he really wants to get this last round.
If I'm being honest, I'm not a huge fan.
मेरा वाला ना उसको म्यूट कर देना फिर दूसरा ट्विच पे
You know, he knows his team, he knows his players. He knows what might work for them. He might have something he thought of, something he noticed or thought. Just frankly, sometimes like this, I feel like the coach might have had like a revelation, and he's like, oh, what if we do this? Or, you know, and not even for this round necessarily, for the next half, where he's like thinking about when they're on the defenders, you know, what are these util combos looking like? How can we bait that out? How can we, you know, deal with that? How can we force out some of those flashes, some of that fade utility that have been really backing up the Neon and prevent that? Now, this is going to be the early spam. Zest maybe took a little bit of damage. Yeah, just like one bullet grazed him. But really curious to see what exactly Bleed is going to be thinking. As Darion moving in there, scary it or taking rubber control. So not able to push through in the way they like. And now you're kind of forcing them into these spots that are a little bit more advantageous for Bleed. I feel like they don't have rubble control, so they can't use that to kind of run all over the place towards A and B and force them into positions where they have to go through some more difficult choke points where they have to test Retla and his utility. We'll see if that is going to be the case here.
स्किन का स्टैंडर्ड है यार अपना मतलब एक
आने वाली वैसे आती है 1.5 महीने में
देखता हूँ ये आ जाएगी ये ले लूँगा
देख दो क्या से कुरनामिया की ले लेना नहीं आई तो फिर
over here way on the back of the site actually.
ये सबसे लेजेंडरी के इससे जो बंदे मरते हैं ना अलग ही मजा आता है
चैंपियन से
yeah, the wires are very much having some interesting angles here. Retla in position, the cages do come out and that's going to back them up quite a bit. Big rotation coming in from Bleed as well. They've got 3 people over here on C. As now, and ult's going to come out from the breach, and Polvy's already made his way onto the site. They have no idea, but the turnaround is huge from Retla, but trade back from the side of Lightning Fast. And now they make their way onto the site, but Zest still here and still pushing them back as he's just going to ult onto A and just get out of here. Benkai left alone. He does pick up one, and eventually Scary gets over there and denies the plant. So that will be the last round going the way of Bleed.
And it's a good change up there from Bleed where they're making sure they're taking rubble control, and then that can force GE into those less advantageous situations. They're really going to have to get it done with, you know, gunplay and things like that. I don't know how Retla spun on Polvy there. That was absolutely insane. But that's more what, you know, I was expecting out of that Bleed defense, like things like that. But they were never really able to get that rubble control consistently throughout that half. That cost them quite a few rounds, to be honest.
You know, the interesting timing of the timeout is because you go from the timeout straight into halftime where he can then once again talk to his players. Extra time to try to line it up for the attacker side.
इंडिया से अगर इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया से हार गई तो फिर क्या है तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया पहुंच सकती है अगर इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया पर आ रही है और बांग्लादेश probably जीत सकती है
in a bit of trouble, and I wouldn't even be surprised if Global Esports try to get a bit aggressive.
India to qualify करेगी है ना
just try to get out there, take control of the map before things get a little bit dicey.
नहीं पहुंचनी चाहिए बड़ी कुत्ती थी है माय
That's covering there. Really nice job.
फाइनली सोचे भाई ये
So good,
Right,
good
I
coordination,
wish
good
I
teamwork
had
there on that
my
C site. But again, that's what
Bollywood
having
का.
that information, having that Cypher utility does for you. And now on GE side, yes, they have a Cypher as well, but, you know, with kind of the classic comp that Bleed is running. You have the paint shells to clear some of that util potentially. A little bit more ability to do that. You're not going to be nearly as explosive as GE was, but diligence might pay off. We'll just have to see if Bleed can get this done. Certainly, they kind of have experience going up against the Neons in the new patch. You know, obviously a lot of teams are going to be leaning into that, as we've already seen in this phase, you know, in their scrims. So they're going to have a decent idea of what to expect. Just are they going to be able to kind of recover from that difficult half? Scary, just clearing out the haunt as all Bleed getting to line up on the other side. They know there's probably a couple over here. Are they just going to be able to break through? Scary. Thinking about Paranoia, but call comes through from Crazy Guy. Took too long, didn't like what he was seeing. Didn't want to give them the ability, and with Zest already pushed up towards the orb at A. He doesn't have any contact. Maybe a bit of a bait as GE has two players tucked inside a tree, hidden away.
Yeah. Blaze King as well with the cam just for a little bit extra, but Scary is going to enter, and now Blaze King just trying to play with the door, but Retla reads it like a book.
How?
Yeah, I don't know. That was
That was crazy good.
Very, very slick. And that's just a free A site now, essentially, for the side of Bleed. But Russ does get that one kill onto Retla. A chance for Global Esports to make this interesting. Zest trying to push into lightning fast. He's looking to push even farther and does get ahead of that Paranoia. As now just going to maybe try to stick onto this one, but Polvi does have to pull off of it to try to help. And they are not in a great spot here. The two of them on the site just being mowed down. As he does have to switch guns. He's got 25 health, and they're just going to wait for the tap. There's just so little time for Polvi to do anything, and that is going to be a pistol round going the way of Bleed.
I mean, just great mental awareness from Bleed. Gets them over the line in this round. I thought this might be a bit challenging. Yeah, the first player, okay. You expect somebody to be there, but Retla so ready for a player to be around that door.
One enemy remaining.
Might have seen it, you know, in a previous match. The GE had tried that. And they were just so aware. So that's just great prepping, great strategy. And you can see maybe in a round like that why there was an extra timeout taken late. Yeah, you have the halftime to talk about things as well, but you know, Legia might feel like, yeah, we need to really make sure we're ready for this half. And I'm just gonna throw the reins over to Crazy Guy and the rest of the squad, and hopefully you guys can get us over the line.
Yeah, no more timeouts in this regular time. As the push is coming out from the side of Global Esports, but Zest ready for it. He does have a Vandal, but I see he was ready for it, but this push is coming out pretty quickly. Relentless right there to just spray them down, takes down 4, and Scary is going to put an end to that business. As Retla, the only one to fall after getting 4 kills.
That was one of the fastest 4Ks with a Bulldog I think I've ever seen. That was insane.
Yeah.
That shoots him all the way up to the top of the leaderboard for Bleed as well. 12 kills now. Woo, they all just walk into it. Good work. Yeah, good anticipation there by Bleed. You know, both teams trying to get aggressive on their ecos, and both very well prepared on their antis. So, nicely done. Now the real work begins for Bleed. If you could take this bonus, then all of a sudden I've got a lot more confidence that Bleed can turn this map around. Even though GE looks so good on that attacker's half, it is much, I think, a little bit more difficult to defend with the Neon.
Oh, but lightning fast, he's ready outside of Mound, and Polvi's here as well. Now Russ is going to get that kill on his ass. They were pushing through mid at the same time, and Polvi's able to get away without a scratch, so that is going to be advantage to Global Esports. The two of them, Scary and Retla, the only ones left up.
And you don't even have the Paranoia. That got invested early by Scary, so real counterplay. What a swing there from Lightning Fast. He's been so good this year for GE. Now they can just box Bleed out of this C site. You've already got both initiators, util ready for Benkai. He's got such a great angle for that fault line. Good luck. It's going to take a really impressive performance here from Bleed.
Well, a shot comes out, and Polvi's like, yeah, ready to take them both down, and that he does. Makes quick work of it as well. Doesn't take any damage either. Only Lightning Fast goes down in the bonus from Bleed. And Global Esports going to be very happy to hold on to 4 rifles moving into the next one. And now they're getting pretty close to winning this first map as well. All starts off lightning fast here.
That's such great timing there on that positioning from Lightning Fast. Anticipating that pressure really well. And Polvi,
you're fucking insane, bro.
I like it, Lightning Fast. Big him up. He is insane. He's playing really great on the Neon. This time they're going to be the ones taking that Rebel control. I thought this might be something that Bleed could potentially have in their favor because of that extra layer of deep utility with the paint shells from Darion. But you also have the relay bolt to consider with Polvi, so makes a bit of sense.
There.
You do have Lightning Fast taking a ton of space, but this one way, he's going to hold on the other side of it. His own one way to see if anybody would try to creep past. You know, you see this sometime with the Vipers, where they're going to want to try to sneak around there, use this toxic screen to get themselves onto the other side. And Lightning Fast tried to get ahead of it, but good patience from Zest. He's wise to the tricks. And there's a lot of players here, but I think Darion has gotten past, but he gets stunned. I don't know if they know he's pushed up that far.
Oh boy, and look at this angle as well through the door, and Blaze King just able to poke out right as they're getting all confused by all the utility in their face. Now Scary trying to push forward, and he's not able to get much at all. Is he gonna poke through that smoke into 3 people? I would hope not, but let's see. He is gonna get the crazy headshot and nearly gets Benkai as well, making it pretty interesting. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be another global esports round as well.
Yeah, nice attempt at the bait and switch by Zest and Scary. You know, Zest sprays with his gun, and Scary TP's over, so they're able to set up their own little crossfire angle and almost make it work. But Benkai's really been on one. Blaze King, though, doing a great job keeping himself alive.
Nice, boys.
Even though a decent amount of space is gained by Bleed, it's countered immediately by GE. Now things get dire for Bleed Esports. Got Sheriffs, yeah, you've got a neural theft, but just shut right out of the round is Darion.
Oh no, and they're all caught here at Rubble. And Polvi just doing insane amounts of damage to them through the smoke.
A great paranoia from Lightning Fast in there too.
Yeah.
Go, go, go.
Everything you could want. The coordination is so on point right now for GE.
Gun here.
Yeah, it is. They're really on something today. I mean, Lotus looks really comfortable for this squad. And it will be interesting when we do move on to Sunset for our next map, which should be Bleed's Stomping Ground. We'll see how they do going into that map, their choice. But this one's not over yet, although it does look pretty dire for the side. Ooh.
I know this wire. I can sneak under it.
Yeah.
That gives them a little bit more breathing room. Got the site open. Scary is going to get checked by the Prowler. So position confirmed, and he's going to rotate off of that. But, I mean, a chance here for Bleed. It's not going to be easy. Just Sheriffs and a couple ults to potentially worry about.
Oh. I like the splash as well onto the back of the site, just knowing that they're going to try to push ahead. And now, crazy guys in so much trouble. Just going to be isolated down and Scary as well. Just a sliding Neon right through his face, and Russ is able to hit that head. So global esports on map points here with this defuse.
I mean, really, really overall great game planning, but again, I'm so impressed with Benkai on this map. Those stuns, every time we watch a Bleed player's perspective, somebody's getting stunned up and just stuck. And oh my God, Russ. Just read where Darion was going to end up and took him down. Unbelievable shot.
Yeah, that's that comes with, you know, thousands of games of Valorant, right? You're like, all right, I know exactly what his movement looks like. I can calculate this instantly, instinctually. I am one with the game. And yeah, it was just a crazy shot there from Ross. Now here comes Polvi, but there were a lot of guys in his face before he even realized what he was looking at, and before he can even pull the overdrive out. As now it is Benkai to trade one back and maybe give Global a chance here, but Bleed are on the site already.
Benkai's still just so sharp.
So reliable.
Very reliable on this map. This is probably one of the better maps we've seen from him this year. What a time to show up for GE. They need it most.
Crazy guy's 2 health.
Yeah, that'd feel good.
Well, at least he got the plant. Benkai's still here, and they might expect that, but see what this retake looks like. He's trying to line up a fault line here. See if he hits anyone. Doesn't look like he will at all, and he will go down. Scary locking down that angle. And now the 4v2 should be good for the side of Bleed, and there it will be very clean as well, as nobody else falls in this round. Even Crazy Guy staying alive with 2 health.
Yeah, and it's just an attempt here by GE being so far ahead to go for something a little bit wild, a little bit crazy. Trying to use that Nightfall plus the Paranoia to sort of crunch outside of Mound. Just doesn't quite work. Bleed just able to step just enough ahead of it to avoid all that utility and shut down Polvi, who didn't even buy a gun, just went right for the, you know, why not? He's been so good with the overdrive. Yeah. Screw it. Might as well just go for it. Not waste the creds. If you know you're going, going big or going home in that round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're going to send it, which is what I always like to say, if you're going to really send it for everything you've got, and you know this round isn't going to last long for you, you just got to go. As Darion makes his way in, but there are a lot of guys waiting on B for this. Look at this, 4 people here for Global Esports, ready for a push to come in.
Crazy Guy, one away from that Nightfall, but not going to be able to get it to him just yet. Zest out in the open, just done.
And now they have a neural theft as well. I mean, this is really rough for Bleed. This might be the nail in the coffin. So Redline at least is gonna get some spawning going down onto that C site. I know there's a bunch of members as he's going to push through the door. And an orb is picked up. That is going to be all tier Nightfall for the side of Crazy Guy. So I think they do just want to send into C with this one.
They don't have much choice. They have no control over the rest of the map. The gun barrel's going to stick out. Polvi sees it.
Your fear.
Yeah, and that's going to be a free one for Polvi just to get it started. And now Crazy Guy wants to isolate him. Oh, what? Scary and Crazy Guy able to clean it up. Just 3 members right inside the door, and immediately all of them get absolutely wiped up.
What is that? What happened there? I thought this was round over. Crossfires looked great for GE.
You know, I think it should have been, but it is not. And Bleed, maybe buying themselves another chance here.
10 seconds left.
As, those shots are not quite ringing true, but it is going to be a plant coming down. Scary's getting low. Crazy Guy's taking some damage already. And Benkai and his buddy Lightning Fast are already here on the site. Some spray through the smoke. As they have a lot of time to work with here, Global, to try to retake this one. And Lightning Fast is going to run on in as the fault line gets maximum value. And they know exactly where he is. That's going to do it. The nail in the coffin. Global Esports to win Lotus 13-6.
Yeah, absolutely. Phenomenal stuff here from GE. From the get-go, I loved the game plan. I loved the execution, the coordination, snappy shots from some players who have been struggling at times for GE, in particular Benkai. Saw some good stuff early on from Russ. Lightning Fast continues to just be a real shining star for Global Esports. Blaze King had some early moments. That was very well handled top to bottom for GE.
Absolutely. Very clean first map on their map choice for Global Esports here on Lotus. We will be moving over to Sunset for the second map, but first let's throw it to the analyst desk to break down that first map.
Hey, it's a Global Esports win. What are we, Asarai?
Minions! You know why?
Oh.
Because
okay.
You know what minions are for? Domination. Global domination, right?
All right,
You
chat,
will steal
you rate
the moon!
All right, Global Esports to the moon next.
Okay.
Anyone, total domination on their map pick of Lotus. Quack, how are you feeling? Still Bleed leaving?
Maybe for Sunset, but oh my gosh, the changes actually look pretty great for both sides. I mean, Bleed, a slight change. Retla used to play on the Killjoy, but now he's on the Cypher. I guess we were kind of anticipating the traps to do a little bit more, but it didn't quite work out too well because Global Esports had the right reads, and props to Benkai because he actually did a lot more on this map. I mean, role swap, different, playing Breach now, and the combination of that Breach with the Neon actually gives Global Esports so much value. This composition actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. The 1-2 punch, you can really feel the cohesion right now for Global Esports. And Global Esports,
first kills.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like Global were the one in this game that was always looking for the fights, right? It feels like Bleed was just kind of waiting for that that stimulus from Global, and because of it, they couldn't really set the pace from what it looks like. Sure, I think the reason why they had Redlaw on the Cypher was they were probably thinking, maybe, you know, Polvy's gonna go on the Neon, it's a good counter to the Neon, but then we
हो जाए मैच विकी भैया
क्या क्या
मैच हो जाए मैच
कौन सा मैच
हेलो
हमें कर दिए स्टार्ट एक डेथ मैच होगा बस
अच्छा ये
ठीक ही लगेगा
देखना दूसरा मैच
हाँ देख लेते हैं और क्या अब खेल देख रहे हैं तो देख ही लेते हैं चल देख लेते हैं डेथ मैच ही होगा एक वैसे भी खेल लेते हो ही जाता जल्दी
Match found. Take a tip after this. I've earned it. Fight! Oh shite, I lost my pet rock. You plum. Target down. Bye. Pew pew. You numpty.
फैंटम भी चलती है
Dominating. Dominating. Kills remaining. Have a kit. That's a kill. 5 kills remaining. Dominating.
ये दिक्कत है यार फैंटम के साथ तो वो ठीक चलती क्योंकि हक जाता है
I shot somebody. 1 kill remaining. Dominating. Hi. Bye. 1 minute remaining. 30 seconds left. 10 seconds left.
मैच स्टार्ट हो गया क्या
The rotate. There's enough time bought here for Bleed to get the plant.
Yeah, essentially just able to run on into this one. And now Blaze King pretty far up. They're not going to expect that. The Boombot going a little bit deeper, and now Blaze King able to trade for the 1-for-1 essentially. Scary going to get a lot of information, knows exactly where they are, but Lightning Fast still going to check it. As Scary will win the duel, and he picks up a second one as well before going down. So advantage here over to the side of Bleed. In members and just in time, really not a lot of time here to clear out behind the box as now Zest and Retla waiting and able to take them all down as they have to push there, and Bleed will start off with a first round win.
Yeah, I mean, just good patience from Bleed is really what wins them this round in 2 different ways. Off the rip, able to dodge the relay bolt, get the kill before the flash connects, and then Scary just kind of holding the angle at market, stabilizing enough to get that first kill, ready for the second, and then that allows you to set up in that really tricky position for your opponents in B main, where it's really tough, especially if you don't have any mollies or flashes to clear that space. It's almost impossible. So, nice ideas, nice setup, nice execution for Bleed. Another pistol round win for them, and on the back foot already RGE, but you never know. We've seen quite a few ecos already on the stage.
Yeah. I mean, even yesterday with Paper X versus DRX, like those teams, doesn't matter if they have guns or not, they're both going to find ways somehow to pick up Thrifties, as now just trying to push through, and a very nice opening up here from the side of Darian. He does hold the spray, and it does get taken out, but at least Retla is able to trade back, so only the one classic kill going the way of Polvi so far. Not too much damage sustained by Bleed.
Zest fell back to pick up that Vandal, and it dropped off of Darian. Good kill for Retla, but lightning fast, quick to trade that.
He just sticks around a little bit too long. There were 3 members there just firing it in, but now Scary does have this angle, and he will take them both down and make quick work of that. A couple of kills to go the way of Global, but expected round win over to Bleed.
Yeah, and that's a pretty nice pickup there for Bleed to only lose 2 players. You don't mind that at all. Yeah, you drop one of the Bulldogs, but at the end of the day, it's not too bad. Nice, easy push through. Yeah, you lose 2, but you're fine with that. And Scary had a pretty good map 1, actually. Looking to continue now that he has seeded that IGL roll back over to Crazy Guy. Kind of frees him up to do scary things. This Crazy Guy, oh boy, got to be so careful here. Polvi almost able to get there in time, but that 0 point gets there to save his life. Force the players of GE back. As a lot of space being taken. Elbow control there. Yes, the cam will spot this. What's going to be the counterplay here? A couple trap wires on the site for Blaze King to play off of. But how are they going to do it? Using that drone to check, but Russ knows that came from right behind that box. Oh, he turns.
Oh, he turns, and Russ is in a bit of trouble, but not actually punished. Darian not able to get there, and now there's going to be a kill going over to Russ. This Crazy Guy kind of just runs into him. I feel like that should have been communicated that he was right there. And now that gives a pretty good chance here for Global to get this retake, although Darian pretty far up. Gonna take a bit of damage through the box and will go down to Benkai. Spamming through that one, and now Retla pretty low. The paranoia does come out, but only able to get Polvi down, as it will be Global eSports to deny the bonus and hold on to 4 rifles.
Yeah, so some good thinking in this round for GE. Having that cam there for the early detection if it is going to be an A push kind of allows them to work that space a little bit easier. Even though I thought for a second that Russ was done. I thought Crazy Guy was going to swing that corner, but he actually didn't. Didn't want to open up that angle by himself. And then when he chose that timing after the contact was made on the site,
last time
Russ was able to backpedal and was ready for it. There was no second player to follow up, no coordination there for Bleed. Help Crazy Guy out, went for the hero play, and Russ was able to against his opponent. So now you got a couple ults to work with, though. Benkai does have the Hunter's Fury as well. Obviously there's no lockdown, so find some early information, find a pick here as GE. Might be able to set up a free kill. Benkai sitting all the way back there towards spawn. Could have some good angles. The only interesting thing is there's no mid control from either team, so ambiguity and a lot of util coming in.
ये पता है बड़ी अच्छी स्कीम बड़े बड़े ये देखा करते हैं पता है कि पहले उनका वो होने देना क्या बोलते हैं ट्रैप वायर को जैसे शॉक डाउट होने देना फिर उसके बाद लगा देते
Now the Hunter's Fury, oh, it's lining up multiple members back there, and meanwhile Blaze King able to push in. He's on the back of the site, picks up 2. Now Scary able to trade, stopping that play through market, and now he's just gonna TP, get some information, but does TP back? As here comes Benkai, gonna send that drone forward. Trying to get a mark here on one of the members, but it's going to be taken out as the slide comes in, and Benkai able to finish off.
ये पता है वेट बड़ा प्यारा होता है, बहुत प्यारा वेट होता है नियॉन से. ये चीज देखना है मोस्टली इसीलिए यूज होता है कि वो आगे भागते रहता है, उसका एम मिल जाता है, पीछे वाला बंदा मार देता है.
A great setup for GE in a lot of different ways.
इसने पहला पिक सोवा को मार दिया ना बाहर, सोवा को नहीं.
For that second wire, but there was a good counter from the side of Bleed. They used the drone to open up that trap wire because there's that momentary delay when you put a piece of utility through the trapwire that allows Darion to actually break into sight. So that's what gets them into the back of the site to start knocking players down there with Scary and Retla. So they're able to do some serious damage off the back of that timing with the Owl drone. So that was a smart play.
इन्होंने लास्ट पे रखा था
Almost
इसको
got
लास्ट
lead over the
में
round, but
क्या बोलते हैं जी को वो
that
जो
coordination
कमेंट्री
again
वगैरह
from
करते
Polvi
हैं
and
ना
Benkai has been
क्या
so
बोलते
good
हैं कौन सा
today.
नाम है इनका
And Benkai really feeling it. 5-2 right now, having a phenomenal day.
Yeah, it really does feel like every single member of Global is really pulling their weight. I mean, Russ is having his moments like
इन्होंने
fast,
मतलब वो रखे थे टीम वाइज लास्ट में सेकंड लास्ट रखा था जी को लास्ट में जेटा को रखा था ब्लीड को ऊपर रखा था
holding on the C side from the defensive side after the swap, and yeah, I mean, it's just been all very smooth. It feels like Global Esports very practiced, and now coming on in, that flash is going to be huge. Is on the back of the site. They are trying to push them in here. The Bulldog kill, and look at that, the double flash. Their foe just sat there with their pants down, and now Polvi going to be taken down. She's not going to be able to get anything going with that overdrive. Lightning fast left alone. And this is not the round. You know, just as we were praising them, Blade come in and smack them down on the B site.
Yeah, and I mean, great entry from Darion. Doesn't get stalled up by any of the utility.
बेकार सी टीम में ब्लीड कैसे
Then it's just a brilliant flash.
अभी तो इनका वो भी चल
Great
गया वो
timing.
ऐसे ज़्यादा
It's so
कुछ
many
कर
players
लास्ट
of
आ रही है
GU was playing to disrupt the plant and could not because the util was so good from Bleed.
ये की वैसे बड़ी डाल थी तब ये आया था बट
What a
कुछ नहीं किया उसने
huge thrifty round. There's no way.
ये खेल रहे हैं प्लांट को डिनाई करने के लिए कि क्रेड्स ना जाए उनको एक्स्ट्रा
That's like guns picked up. That's such an economic swing. Or Bleed in this one.
Yeah, no, उसने अच्छा मार दिया.
What a response. I mean, no fear after just getting kind of bullied at B there in the previous round. This time they're able to kind of do a similar thing just with an extra layer to it where it's just like, okay, well, let's throw a flash in the back of sight this time to make sure that we really get that clear. They were able to clear with guns. This time around, just brilliant, just lands right in their face.
Yeah. I mean, they had no chance. Like, they were not expecting that. Just the lob right into the face of both of them. And it doesn't matter what guns you've got at that point.
होगा फायदा ये एक ना फाइट पोस्ट प्लांट भी यूज हो सकती है ऐसे एक तो पहले एंट्री के लिए हो जाती है दूसरी वाली पोस्ट प्लांट कर सकते हैं यूज
Now it does look like Bleed once
Neon
again
का slide
looking to pressure towards the B site.
बाद में एंड में 1v1 2v1
फिर से आती है ना दो
on
तीन
top of the wall. Trapwire a little bit deeper. But it's been that left-hand side of the B site that
वन टाइम कर देंगे ये रिचार्ज खत्म कर देंगे इसको
taking some mid control, smoke to cover a little bit of space. Straight on to come through. That's did quite a bit of damage. I mean, Zest is down to very, very low health. Crazy Guy lost all of his armor down to 75. So definitely GE getting the better of that exchange. Even though Bleed trying to create some pressure, create some space, but not able to do so. Better response from Global Esports.
And now they're just going to send it into B once again, as they do send the Paranoia and some smokes from the Omen. Couple of smokes just to try to cut off all of the sight lines from the side of GE. And the spike carrier Zest there, he is going to go down, so now they kind of have to rush in, but Scary is going to pick up one. Benkai in the back of the site will be heard, but it is going to be the rest of the team just flooding on in, especially after getting that first pick, going to make it much easier for Global Esports. And Scary left alone is just going to run away.
And that change up of the camera position makes this timing a lot easier for Global Esports to disrupt the plant. Make sure it just never happens. It's really good patience from them.
10 seconds left.
Even though they lose Polvi, when they're setting up those crossfires, it allows everybody to get into place and really just punish Bleed. So very nicely handled by Blaze King. And it's been a good back and forth. 3-3. I think we need to see some kind of bigger picture ideas for Bleed. Right now, it just really feels like they're relying on these executes to get them over the line. And this time around, GE just has a better response. I'm not sure if we're the only ones without sound on this replay.
Seems like.
Okay.
Well, we're going to get a timeout.
You and I are just like,
yeah.
Did we get paranoia there? Like we can't hear anything? Yeah.
Nightfall.
Nightfall
on our faces.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, it's a much closer map. but it's still going to be Bleed that does lose the previous round, and they are going to be the first ones that call a timeout. So, you know, first couple of rounds going their way, they win the pistol, but Global Esports immediately able to fight back pretty strongly. Bleed only get one more, and
इवन मीडियम है ना कंटेस्ट करने के लिए बोलेंगे इसको.
He is not scared to call early timeouts.
No, he is not. That has absolutely been par for the course.
मेरे को क्या लग रहा है जो elbow है ना
They like to take those timeouts early and often.
वहाँ पे होगा इनका target.
Try to get things figured out, but you know, you're close to Zesalt, you've got the showstopper, so you've got some tools to work with as Bleed. And my curiosity is, are they going to try to spread the map a little bit more? They sort of did in that previous round, but it got shut right down by GE. You know, you've got to make GE respect A at some point. Like, these executes, as good as they can be, GE's got very good responses for the most part towards this B site. You gotta be so careful here as Blaze King makes out that showstopper. He's behind it.
Oh, he got it behind him. He had no idea. And the showstopper is on the ground, dead. And just like that, you just have to give up on ever trying to get into B at this point. Maybe if you wait for a whole minute and then you go, but there's 4 members that have swarmed in there, and man, that was just really cute positioning on the side of Blaze King. Takes the initial damage, you know, on the jump peak, and then he's just tucked there in the corner, and he says, okay, he's going to come really fast. I'm just going to tuck myself in right behind him.
Crazy smart. Crazy smart. Blaze King. I mean, just great stuff there. Gets the neural theft, gets the info. If they had gone mid, there was a trip there to check for it. I mean, and Ross wins his battle. This is really dire for Bleed. They are falling apart at the seams.
Oh boy. And Global are just clean with it once again.
Oh, what a flash.
Yeah, the flash comes in, and Volby gonna secure the flawless for his team with some shiny plays. He is able to glide down the stairs there. And yeah, just a very one-sided round. It really comes down to the beginning of that one, especially with Blaze King just putting himself into that corner before Darian can even see him.
It's just so brutal. I mean, Darian expects him to
इतनी
back
गर्मी में तो
out
चिप्स और
towards
कोल्ड ड्रिंक
market,
लेने गया.
and he just kind of
मैच सा
outguesses
देखने.
Darian there.
वो स्कूटी है.
And then Polby's right around the corner to back up the push. In good protocols.
रोड पे.
Overall for GE. That third kill. I mean, yes, he was flashed, but it still was a good shot.
It's just so cool to see him sliding down the stairs, looking away from the flash, and then he's just able to drag back over. Flick him down with the headshot. Lots of time, lots of comfort, as you mentioned.
The fact that you see Darian there is a big giveaway for GE, that they've got a little bit of time to figure out what's going on the map, because it's very unlikely that Bleed is going to try anything without Darian there to lead the charge. It's been a bit of a struggle today on this raise. Oh, I think he can get ahead of it. Smart to get out.
He gets spotted by about 8 things. And that is going to be the B-side given over. Smoke to come forward as well, but now Polby tries to go in, and it's just a lineup to the 2 of them. Scary and Crazy Guy getting 2 apiece. As they try to enter the site real quick. It does not work out for them. Bleed back on the board.
So much of this map is coming down to if Bleed can get control past the pillar on B. If they get control past the pillar, they're giving themselves really good opportunities. Now, it helps that Retla wins out on his lurk in this round, because that keeps the map in control, keeps that flank angle from not coming through over the side. But it also gives you the neural theft, which gives you the info that everybody's in Bova, and you can just push in, set up the crossfires, and wait things out. So, nicely set up by Bleed. Great play by Retla. Great round. Continues to be just a phenomenal back and forth. Now you've got both no commands available for the KOs. Crazy Guy does have his ult, so this time though, giving up a ton of space onto A. Basically gonna have to play for a retake at this point. I mean, if you challenge this, you better have a really nice timing on Bleed's entry because you don't have a lot of support. I mean, especially with just like a paranoia and some flashes, it's going to be really tough. There's that Hunter's Fury, and the good news is you baited out this ult and didn't take any damage.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned before, just essentially just going to look for the full retake here. Is Global Esports, they didn't really get hit by much of anything. And now a chance to go for your counter null command. We'll see if they're going to throw that in, and that they do. We do see Lightning Fast with the first operator kill on the Zest. Polvi trying to run on in, just doing some dipping, some diving. He's going to go down, and Retla is so clean on the side. He hits another head. And Lightning Fast, okay, he's going to shut that down, but already the damage has been done. Lightning Fast, he tries to switch over, but it's really just not a lot of time. There's a lot of spray. He has to rush with it. 4 kills over to Retla. And it looks like he's just going to try to get his op and get out. But look at this. Scary trying to shut it down. Lightning Fast has a good idea, but it doesn't matter. Scary will still shut him down. It's another round over to Bleed.
Yeah, I don't mind what GE does in terms of their macro strategy for this round. It's just great execution from Retla to just shut this round right down. It almost looked like it was going to be another one of those. Polvi jumps in, he's got great support. You know, they follow up behind him to get that first kill, but then Retla's just so ready there.
This is a good time to take a timeout after a round like that, you know, settle the nerves. Saw Retla could hardly believe it himself. And yeah, I think for Global, I think the idea was fine. You know, you got a lot of value, you didn't get hit by anything really, and then you just try to go for sometimes he looks insanely well and shuts down. Better utility onto the site to get them on there. But that's going to be up to the coaching staff to try to help them with that here as they do take this timeout. This is actually the first timeout we've seen for the entire day so far for the side of Global Esports. They didn't take a single one on Lotus. Just let them flow with it, and they just kept on winning, so not a big reason to call a timeout, of course.
For sure. And it's been overall a really good day for Global. Now Bleed's starting to really come alive, and the last 2 rounds have been on Retla. I mean, with the pick and the neural theft to set up the B hit, and that round just holding his feet on A. And there was no extra layer to that dive from Polvi. He dashes in so far that you have to be able to trade the first one from elbow, but then Polvi's left on an island. That just kind of sets up Retla for success in his position. It's going to give Retla a lot of credit there that just being where he was smart, because it was in an anti-neon position, essentially. So, good job by him. Good job by Bleed. Let's see what Lightning Fast can do. Try to dodge the boombot. Nope, still going to get spotted. So, has to clear it, but Bleed doesn't like that. They smell a trap, and they're not wrong.
They're definitely not wrong. We got, you know, 2.5 guys looking there towards mid. Smoke coming down. And the Cypher is set up here on A. That's where Blaze King is going to stand. Hope to stop this push from coming in. We do have Polvi pushed out just a little bit from that B site, trying to see what he can see, but there's a smoke there to deny some information, deny a push, but this is going to be a full push towards A once again, it looks like.
I mean, they're so ahead of this. It's going to be important that Retla maybe win this flank battle against Russ, but he does not. Russ is ready for the angle, it takes him down. This really breaks open the space for GE. It's going to be really difficult now. Oh, what a spot there for Blaze King.
Yeah, that's just massive. I mean, they're just so ready for this. They saw it coming a mile away, and nobody on the side of Bleed is able to do anything. Even Crazy Guy just on his lonesome. Okay, he is going to pick up 1 kill, but it is definitely the round going the way of Global Esports, and just going to let him go and save. So yeah, as you mentioned, they got the early information, and they were able to set up so ahead of time, and that was shut down very easily.
Yeah, and it's so crucial there that Russ wins that 1v1 against Retla, because that forces Bleed to have to pull the trigger on that execute, and that means Blaze King is so ready for it. His util's already set up, so he can play off of that as well, but it's just the ability to have that mental preparation to know that, okay, they're in a really bad spot because we've got that flank angle, we've got the pressure, and unless they completely commit like 2 or 3 players to try to clear Russ, they're going A, and that's a really, really nice setup and execution. The mid control is really the most important part of that round for GE.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe some of that coming from the timeout. Coach is just helping set them up for success for the future round. We're all tied up here. Wouldn't be surprised if this does go 6-6, but see if one team wants to take the advantage. As Polvi just going to go for a dry peek, does get taken down by Darion.
Yeah, I was hoping with that 0 point, catching the Sova, eliminating the drone, that he could catch, bleed a bit off guard. They were very ready. I mean, there were 3 of them standing there watching for that.
जब उनको एक्सपेक्टेड होता है मतलब पूरा स्पेस लेके ना दूसरी साइड की कि वहाँ पे नहीं है बंदा वहाँ पे रिवील फील करके फिर उनको जब श्योर होता है यहाँ पे है तब वो यूटिल के साथ करते हैं.
Man advantage. Oh, this angle from Benkai going to be huge. He does get spotted down. And they're still going to go for this push here. Just a little bit slow on this one as they're spotted. And a lot of members from Global Esports going to flood in, so they flood out of that B-man area. Look to go towards A.
Oh, lightning fast. TP'd with Scary. So he's already here, so Scary has to pump the brakes. He has to reconsider this plant.
30 seconds left.
There's trap wires all over the place. This is dangerous for Bleed now.
He just teleported into a very dangerous area, but he is going to set up control at least on the site, and Global Esports is pretty far back on this one. They will let this get planted, and immediately will call Russ over to help out with this one.
This is going to be really tough for GE, though. Bleed was able to stabilize. Oh, what a flash.
Oh, the flash is big, but still going to go the way of Scary, who is incredibly low. Crazy Guy also going to be taken out on lightning fast. He's on the site, and nobody's able to lock him down, really. He's going to tap this. He's going to try to hold it, actually, but does come off of it as he takes some damage. Darion is going to pick up one, but Retla was eliminated, and now the defuse is coming in, and that's just going to be the straight-up defuse. Darion also will go down to lightning fast, who ends up being the hero of this round.
What a great
अरे निंजा उसने किया था केजे ने याद है
स्प्लिट में नहीं आइस बॉक्स में किया था
आइस बॉक्स में
अरे भाई
खुद ही पता है इतनी सेक्सी क्लिप बनती नहीं है
बहुत तगड़ी बनती है
खुद ही लिख दिया सेविंग ऑफ और
उसने गोली ना मारी उसने नाइफ किया ना वो दूर चले गए थे तब तक वो उसने एंड में मारा जाके वो भागते भागते ही कहां पहुंच गए स्नोमैन भी पार करके थे वो
और ऊपर से सेफ प्लान था कि मिड से मार ही नहीं सकते
हां मिड से चलाई उसने गोली बजी नहीं.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. He does have his overdrive and is going to be looking to use that here at some point. Speed in the last round and a half, but able to poke forward, able to get some information that there were a couple guys sitting outside of B.
And a great decision by Polvi to buy the Outlaw.
That
Bleed had. It's going to be very, very weak. They were going to have to either cut guns to go for full armors or get half armors and get some weaker rifles to back it up. So really good recognition. And like you mentioned, Valdez, he has that overdrive as well. So he's got some great ability in this round to really kind of shut Bleed out.
Somebody's trying to poke this butt. Polvi down to 4.
He hit the one player who had
unlucky, but he's able to get that sack. Just what we were talking about, utilizing both weapons. And now the Hunter's Fury coming out here. Some fancy work here from the side of Bleed, but
oh please, no. Not like this.
Yeah, well, sometimes it does go that way. And he does put the cage up. He's got his camera shot down. Ooh, the Shock Dart going to get that kill on the Scary. There was a lot of damage done just by the Hunter's Fury and multiple pieces of utility. And oh, quick one from the side of Lightning Fast. And a big chance for them as it is 4v2 on the retake here. But Crazy Guy able to trade one back. Does get flashed, and now coming in from Market, that is going to be a kill from Blaze King. Crazy Guy the last one down. He gets one, he gets 2, and he will be taken down. Benkai barely able to clean that one up and secure the round for GE.
Oh, man. I mean, what a play there by Crazy Guy. Almost turned that round on its head for Bleed. But I mean, really, generally,
मैं कह रहा 4 बंदों ने हाफ शील्ड ली थी, 1 बंदे ने फुल शील्ड ली थी और उसके पोलवी की उसी को बजी जिसने फुल शील्ड ली थी. बट उसको मार दिया थी हाफ में.
They have really good ideas on what Bleed is going to do and how they can shut it down for the most part. Yeah, Bleed has some really good executes. And when they're able to get those to connect, they had some really, really good rounds. They had some success. But Global was always able to answer back. They were always able to bounce back and kind of find those resets. So it was a very, very smart half from Global. And now Bleed, it is, you know, going to be on the defender side where, in theory, should be a bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, those stats are kind of
just in general not good.
Not great.
Like, I don't think the side really matters, honestly. I think it's just kind of these two teams haven't had too much success.
Yeah.
In general, but
the real concern for me is, you know, this Neon, is it going to be able to kind of run all over them like it did on Lotus, right? Like, you know, the Roadrunner is in full effect and you end up looking like Wile E. Coyote against it, just, you know, like getting smashed by anvils and running into walls that aren't there.
Yeah.
Making rockets.
Is it Roadrunner that runs off the cliff, or is it Wile E. Coyote? Is it both?
Well, the Roadrunner can, like, keep going so it doesn't, like, fall, I think, and then Wile E. Coyote, like, tries to chase
to follow,
it,
and then
he
it's, like, stops in midair and then falls.
Yeah, it makes, like, a dust cloud.
Yeah.
And it
oh, man. Those old cartoons. There's probably one guy in chat that gets
There's got to be at least one, right?
This is like one or maybe two. Maybe it's us.
just us boomers, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is really going to set the tone. Global Esports in the lead. If they can pick up a pistol round quickly, this could be big. They haven't stacked Polvi or anything like that. It's just going to be pretty standard. And we'll see what this strategy does look like for them. They do have a lot of presence here in the middle of the map already, as now 4 members heading over towards A.
I mean, my eyes are really on to Benkai, not just because he's having a great couple of maps, but because it's going to be a little bit different with the way that he is potentially setting up Polvi, using those recon darts just like that to help him break the angles. A good paranoia to follow up. Great setup there from GE.
Yeah, I mean, they know if he's going to stay there after the boom bomb, then he's just going to get paranoia. And that he did. It's an easy pick off. And now the entire team, after that pick, is looking to rotate towards B. And as we see, the entire rotation already came out from the side of Bleed. Everybody's over towards A.
Look at Blaze King, though. They have no idea. The timing on that was so good.
That might just be the round. I mean, they have so much control over this over the site now. And it's not that easy to get in here and retake this one.
No. No, it is not.
Nope.
The understatement of the year. All they have is one shock dart to try to clear main. I mean, it's got to be a god-tier shock dart. Could hit a couple, though. Oh, no, no, no! Not like that.
Standing ahead.
Well, it's not going to hit anything, as Polvi also just going to spam on through, as Crazy Guy just has to try to send it, just has to risk it. And Zest is, well, they know he's the last guy left. And it's not looking too good for him as they are hunting him down. He does pick up one. And yeah, just going to slide on forward. Does pick up a second one, but it's an easy round over to the side of Global Esports. They continue with their onslaught here against Bleed.
I mean, a lot of, even though there was that shock dart, that's, I mean, look, I had my head in my hands on that one. That one feels bad, man, for Crazy Guy. But this is a great setup. Again, why I said my eyes were on Benkai is because he can use things like the recon darts and the shock darts to set up Polvi as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, the stuns and the flashes that the Breach gives you. He can use that Sova as well. I mean, there was a combo with the Paranoia and the paint shells too, so it's, not the paint shells, excuse me, the paint shells were coming out from Darion, but everything in the kitchen sink to set up Polvi there, and it's beautiful. That one's just hit Polvi, just waiting. Darion, and Darion pays the price.
Yeah, that he does. Maybe just try to catch them running away after the paint shells. Catch them in transition.
ये ठीक है जो पिछले मैच में गोस्ट वाला ना उसको लग करवाते हैं आगे गोस्ट वाले को आगे
नेक्स्ट राउंड के लिए फायदा हो जाएगा अगर गलती से एक बंदा भी मर गया तो वो उसकी वेंडल ले सकता है गोस्ट वाला मर गया
दो मर गए अगर वेंडल वाले तब
So that gives them the information. And even going to utilize the drone just to make 100% sure that they can get onto the site very cleanly. They have gone for 3 big rifles and 2 ghosts.
Spam करना आसान होता है ना एक एंगल कट जाता है ना.
I'll be curious to see how they play this post plant because of what you're talking about. Although it looks like it is just going to be.
Next में देखना ये भी वेंडल ले लेंगे दोनों.
This is just getting it out. I was kind of curious, you know, if there was a world where maybe Bleed decided to put those ghosts ahead. And now you allow, this is smart because now you can try to claim some of those orbs that otherwise would go into the nether as GE. So
इस spike पे मरेंगे ना.
Some ability. You don't care about these ghosts. These don't matter.
Yeah.
Go hunting.
Might as well. I mean, you don't lose anything, and you might have a lot to gain as Polvi picks up one more, and he nearly gets Zest there at the end. Would have been his 4th on the round. It's not quite going to happen, and Zest is scary. Will go down to the spike.
Yeah, really. Great game planning from GE. I mean, every situation, they're trying to maximize their value. That's a sign of a team that's really dialed in. And they have an overdrive already for Polvi. I mean, he's had such a hot start. Again, there's Darion out there. Polvi just winning all these battles. Almost got a 4th. But you have to be feeling great as GE. I mean, truly. The game plan here today is so good. Look at that paranoia. Follow this up.
Yeah, he's just rolling in, but Darion is going to shut that down. Nicely done by Darion, but traded back here by Blaze King. A lot of damage done to him, though.
आदि किस पे देख रहा तू वो
We'll be able to stop them in their tracks here on the very fast hit of A.
GE anticipating a tiles hit or something. Able to dodge that recon dart. Little information gain though. You see Russ. You have a decent idea that this is where the execute's going to happen, so Bleed can keep all their players over here. Just hold this corner. Zest goes for the flash, but the smoke already there. No value to be found. I was wondering if they maybe pushed through that smoke potentially. No one did, but
स्ट्रेस वगैरह रिलीज करने के
I
लिए.
like what they're doing. Lightning fast, gone all the way over to the other side of the map. Send a smoke there to at least maybe keep a player or two towards A. Set up Benkai for this lurk. This is nuts.
It very much is. I mean, he's got a guy right next to him, like literally right next to him on the site, and he is going to go down. So it doesn't really pay off.
30 seconds left.
And we already see the rotation coming in towards B. And Retla's already here, ready for this one. And through the smoke he goes. Lightning Fast will be able to win this 1v1. But okay, they're actually trying to plant this down as well. Still a chance for Global Esports, especially if they get the spike planted. That they will.
He's got to get there.
Just have to get there. He's only got 32 health, and they have no idea where he is. But Scary's watching it. And that is going to be Zest with the defuse.
It just took a little bit too long for these ideas to come to fruition for GE. You know, watching it on the map, we can see what's happening, and there's nothing wrong with what they did there. You know, they got kind of stymied at A. They couldn't get through the way they wanted, so they changed directions, but it just took a little bit too long. You know, Lightning Fast to gain control of B main again, set up for the mid push. I like the attempt with the paranoia plus the overdrive to try to push through. Just get shut down nicely by Darion, and then Benkai going for that crazy lurk through the smoke. Just again, that bought time though, and that's why I thought maybe GE would be able to execute. They're able to isolate Retla on the site, but they just weren't able to kind of figure it out fast enough where the openings were, and that's tough to do on the fly. But so far, GE's been quite good today.
Yeah, the cage is going to come out, but the paranoia does hit Retla as they do make their way onto the site here. Crazy Guy's getting a lot of information, though, and already a bunch of damage as Retla's got the angle with the Guardian, but able to be traded down as they do clear out the site. GE should be able to get this plant down.
Yeah, save. There's no point in fighting for this as Bleed. Maybe you get one and then you leave, but that spot, you just got to go. There's
Spike planted.
Very little hope here.
Well, seeing if anyone's going to give them, you know, a gimme, if anyone's going to peek them. But they're still staying. I mean, are they really going to try to fight in the B main here, 2v4? You can tell from us, we don't think it's a good idea, but they might feel like they're too far behind. They need to make something happen, and they do have the paint shells.
I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Yeah, I mean, paint shells get some value. Some damage in, but there's still a lot of utility, able to stop the plants, and now Scary gets in, but Russ has traded it down. And again, there's just not enough time to get the win. They do take some guns out of the hands of Global Esports, but they're not going to win the round.
Yeah, I mean, look, it almost worked. It was a good read on understanding a few things there for Bleed. They knew they had a couple players weak. Paint Shell found a ton of value, gets the kill. And you're able to swing that corner really nicely. But this entry is really, really good. Nobody runs into any of Retless traps. They're cleared. It's a good fast lane by Polby to open up the space so he can clear the utility. Very close, but at the end of the day, you're fine with that as Bleed because you still get the round win. You take another gun out of Bleed's hands. Their economy's, you know, a couple players have some money to buy.
Fine with that as global, right?
Or excuse me, yeah. Global.
इनको 2 मैच जीतने इनको बड़ा फायदा मिलेगा प्लेऑफ्स में क्वालीफाई होने के लिए.
I mean, the economy right now of global is in a very good spot.
2-0 से जीते.
मतलब एक मैच का डिफरेंस
done to them, and they're very close to taking the win. I think it might just be what I was saying before, where they feel like they're just too far behind. They like have to take the risk and try to get the round because if you begin to fall behind now, you're not going to have much economy. You're not going to have anything going for you, and you might just end up losing anyway. So you can see the stress is really getting to them in the coaching booth on the side of Bleed. This has not been their best match, and you know, this was meant to be a close one. I think both of these teams, you know, like you were saying before, predictions go either way. Like I think it's fine to predict either of these teams going into this one, but Global Esports have just shown up in a much bigger way today. And sometimes that's what it comes down to, which team is just ready to play on that day. And clearly Global Esports are just outplaying them at this point in time.
Yeah, and this is one of the best versions we've seen of Global this year in terms of game planning, execution, strategy, gunplay. All those things are coming together. Hopefully it's not too late for them in terms of getting to the playoffs or something like that. Like, there's still hope potentially, but a lot of work to be done. However, there are really encouraging signs. I mean, the way that they're game planning behind the Neon, every time I'm seeing really good follow-up, or at least if they're sending Polvi out on his own, there's really good reasons behind it. Either he has the overdrive or someone has like a Nightfall to back it up, stuff like that that is coming through. So there's like deep layers to this strategy, and Global is also making really good reads on the fly. So credit to Benkai, who's not just having a great day with his rifle, he's having a great day IGLing this team and maneuvering around the map. And this time around, they're gonna slow it down, spread the map, look for any lurks, look for early aggression, see if they can get any info on how Bleed is set up. But really, so far, there isn't much. You know they're not really pushing through mid because of the cam. It's about all you got. They're going to catch Zest there, but that's it with that 0 point.
30 seconds left.
And Darian in here. He actually has purchased a rifle for this round, and he might be able to get some nice value. It's now Crazy Guy going to hit that headshot. And still Darian's just hanging out in market trying to get some. Oh, but he's going to be shut down. As he goes in with the showstopper.
Again, it's Blaze King. Okay, sorry Blaze King, I cursed you.
Yeah, dies to a classic, unlucky. Scary is back here with his own classic. It is Zest who has been able to upgrade, and now he's got to push into main by himself. There's one. He does have the flash. 13 health, decent amount of time, hoping, okay, there's another one, and Benkai with the flick. So he wasn't looking quite the right direction, but immediately is able to recorrect his team and does shut it down. Close one, actually. Bleed making it close with not much firepower.
Yeah, well, Bleed makes some nice adjustments. A slightly deeper trip for be a player. But Blaze King again in a perfect spot to shut down those rockets from Darian. He has done a great job with that on this map. Wow, but there's been some really close ones. Bleed's been, you know, one player away a couple times, but they've been going against them, and that's why they're so far down. Able to buy guns, but you know, if GE wins this going into map and match point, they're gonna have a very weak buy. Look at that. The most credits anybody has is Crazy Guy with 550.
Yeah. It's do or die, essentially, at this point in time for Bleed. They need to win it here, right now. And we'll see if it does go that way. Man available here for Russ. We do have the counter from the side of Bleed, and they do have 4 guys over on the A site feeling this pressure.
ओमन देख लिया, इसका लग गया, 2 तो कंफर्म हो गए, 1 मिड होगा।
नहीं, वो भी इधर ही है, मिड वेल मिड ऑलमोस्ट है के पास।
There's a lot of util here.
मतलब अब इनके ऊपर है डिसीजन ये।
Crazy Guy. Oh, this is so risky. Right out of that smoke. Immediately, the 0 point comes
Hello,
out.
bro. Welcome to the stream, bro.
Crazy Guy does have some backup behind him. Scary with him, and Crazy Guy gets one. GE is breaking it open.
Yeah, he got the one, but it immediately he just gets spammed down by Benkai. And now
Oh,
BlazeKing also
nice.
gonna take down Darion.
अभी आ जाएंगे
Just on the back, just lurking
ऐसे
there.
ओमन की गेम बन गई थी
He's
अगर
just been, like,
ये
in
ना
that
मरता
spot.
था
He has been
तो
deadly
इन्होंने
today.
वापस जाना था बी के और
And
ओमन ने
now
मार देने थे
GE looks like they
एक
might
पे
have
जाना
bought
है
themselves a ticket to the 2-0 unless something crazy happens here from Bleed.
क्या सेव करेंगे?
सेव करेंगे 10 उनके बाई नहीं
Great
अगले
game
राउंड
plan all the way around for GE. Again, the lurks from BlazeKing find value. You know, one time he was a little late on one, but other than that, they've been really good. And him breaking open that extra space allows them to pivot off that A hit. You know, just use that smoke that's on A where Bleed has to respect it. They have to be like, okay, they can push this site. We've got the people in place. But then GE makes a better read and says we can cut through Link, go towards top mid. And BlazeKing, if he wins that fight, then we
इनको ना
definitely
मारने आना
got
चाहिए था
a B
ये
site
ना नियॉन
broken
को
open for us. So
इनको मार दें तो इनका अगला राउंड भी पक्का हो जाएगा
इनके क्रेडिट्स भी अच्छे नहीं
phenomenal stuff from GE today. I can't say enough about how good this has been.
Yeah.
इनका अल्ट भी आने वाला है पर अगर वो मर गए ना तो इनका अगला राउंड आ जाएगा
Have not been able to find
मार
an
दे एक मार
answer
दे
as they are sprinting in
अरे
towards them, desperate to take a gun out of their hands. We mentioned now their economy is pretty much down in the dumps at this point in time. They were able to hold on to 2 rifles as they'll be able to get that counter angle. Benkai gets the one spray down as well, and BlazeKing gets this.
And again, it's really good timing on the utility from Benkai that finds that extra kill on the A site. And that isn't as necessary in some ways, because I think they're already pretty committed towards pushing towards Link there to pivot over to B, but still, those pickups go a long way. And now Bleed needs to win 6 in a row just to get overtime. They've got some ults, but so does GE. They do have the null command here for Russ. And, you know, if you can get that deep enough, Crazy Guy won't be able to use that Hunter's Fury to try to shut down the executes of GE. Just depends on how and when. I mean, Retla as well does have his Neural Theft. So if Bleed can find a pick here, you know, they could set up for a nice combo with those 2 ultimates. But it's just getting there in a comfortable fashion has been tricky. They've been losing some of these early duels. They've been losing on the lurks. A very difficult map for Bleed, to say the least.
Zest is going to get some information. Sees a barrel, just one barrel. As we know, there is a group of 4 people here in mid.
Many barrels.
Yeah, and uh-oh.
Nice.
Zest is not going to expect that. Immediately, Milkman comes out. Fast lane as well, so spam is coming on through, but it's going to be Retla who goes down instead. As they clear out the B site here once again, we do see the Hunter's Fury sail wide as well. Darion there in Boba. Desperation now for Bleed.
Yeah.
Well,
this is gonna be so difficult. I mean, the good news is your 3 players left alive haven't been hit yet, but another lurk from GE. This time it's Benkai. So if you even see BlazeKing, you might think you just need a clear main, but are they going to be ready for another lurk?
तोड़ के आएगा वो बीच में
They're sending everything they possibly can into main, so all focus, all attention onto this one angle. The bomb buddy gonna come out here as Bolby just gonna slide on in, looking to challenge them aggressively, knowing that they have this flank, and that's gonna do it. 13-6 once again, 2 in a row to the side of Global Esports as they take the 2-0 tonight.
I mean, I'm so impressed with Global Esports today. In just about every category, I don't want to say they were flawless, but they were very, very good. Reading the map well, the coordination with utility was good, the shots were pretty good, the reading of the map, brilliant. I mean, this is a completely different team than what I saw against Team Secret last week. They look so much better, and credit to this to this GE staff. Global Esports really picking it up and Bleed. Well, it's been a rough season for them coming out of Ascension. They get to Pacific, and the struggles continue.
पहले लोग बड़ा हेट दे रहे थे
bringing
खेली
Crazy
है
Guy
Valorant
back in as the IGL. They were, I thought last week it looked pretty good, so that's why I predicted them here today. This was just GE doing.
बंदे बुला फिर WhatsApp से हमको 2 बंदे और
टिक्कू वगैरह भी हैं
बुला ले जो आ रहा है जानू भी है जानू पूछ रहा है जी खेलनी
चलो डिस्कॉर्ड बंद कर दे, ठीक है, गेम में आ जाओ।
ठीक है
चलो अब खेलेंगे हम गेम। रजी आदि को कैंसिल दो, आजा गेम आजा जल्दी। चलो आ जाओ वैलोरेंट, आ जाओ।
आ गया।
ये कहाँ पे डिस्कॉर्ड पे आ रही है आवाज? मैं आया एक मिनट। नहीं लास्ट में किस पे बोला था? डिस्कॉर्ड पे बोला था। मैंने डिस्कॉर्ड ऐसे ही बंद किया था, क्या पता बंद होता है नहीं होता है।
मिकी प्राइम मेंटल आ गई मेरे में।
पांडवी आप वॉच पार्टी में कुछ बोल रहे थे क्या? हेलो मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हां
पांडवी की आवाज लग रहा है बाथरूम बैठे हुए कसम से कह रहे जानू भी आ रहा है। मैं पता नहीं क्यों कौन बोल रहा है जानू भी आ रहा है। हमारा भी खेल
है मिकी भैया।
क्या
प्राइम मेंटल आई है भाई?
तो क्या आ गया? ये तो क्या हो गया? जैसे प्राइम मेंटल हाथ में उसके पास, मोजो के पास
कैंटावेंटल आ रही थी। कैंटावेंटल ले लेना थोड़ा टाइम में।
कौन सी
कैंटावेंटल?
ना वो तेरे स्टोर में ही आती है यार, मेरे स्टोर में नहीं आती।
सर को मैंने फ्रूट की वो भेजी ही वीडियो देखी थी जिम वाली।
मेरे को मैं समझ ही नहीं आई वो वीडियो। तू बात कर रहा है
नलायक क्या? माइट कॉलेज में इंग्लिश बोलना नहीं आती तेरे को? सीखा
मैंने देखी नहीं पूरी है, देखूंगा जब तो समझो। तो जस्ट उठा था यार तेरी वीडियो आई थी। कौन से टिक्को सारे आ रहे हैं, टिक्को मिलते हैं तो पता नहीं बंसी खेलेगा नहीं।
शैगी भी खेल रहा है। शैगी को बुला लो, उसको बोल वो डाल, बोल गाली गुली दे, सब वो कर दे, सरेंडर कर दे।
बंसी साहब भाई
कर मैसेज हो, फोन कर अबे शैगी को।
इसको अक्षत को टेंपो
उनका रेटेड चल रहा है।
टेंपो जल्दी खत्म कर यार।
बोल सरेंडर कर, ये सब
टाइम लग जाएगा इसको तो।
सरेंडर कर, गाली गुली दे, एक दो गफे गुफे दे, बोल सरेंडर, अंडी वंडी शंडी कर दे।
बोल मेरे को टट्टी लगी है, दब लगी है, जाना है।
सही बात है, बोल टट्टी लगी है, सरेंडर करो जल्दी।
आलो पानी क्या लो गोली
सही में बोल शकी, बोल ना।
ठीक है मैं क्या ना खा लो तो खा लो। वो तो ठीक है पर मैं तो बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक है। मैं कह रही है ना गोली खा लो तो खा लो। यही मैं
South Africa +T20 World Cup 2024
अरे यार कैंसिल कर दिया यार इन्होंने सरेंडर इनकी।
तूने बोला नहीं मैं टट्टी करने जाना, तूने बोला क्यों नहीं?
बोला यार, यही बोला मैंने क्रम से।
चल एक
चार रेस फिर एंड में मारा मैंने, चौथा मारा।
4 रेस?
हाँ
क्या बात।
4 बार 4 सर्किल है, कभी कोई मार रहा है कभी कोई मार रहा है, कभी मैं मार रहा हूँ।
मैंने एक भी नहीं मारा यार आपको।
चोरी तो ये दोनों करते हैं नाग।
अच्छा चोरी चोरी दिल तेरा चुराएंगे, अपना तुझे हम बनाएंगे, तेरे तेरे पास तेरे आएंगे।
ओए चोर, तू भी आदमी तरह बन जा रहा है पूरा।
ये तो भाई निग्गर वाला है, निग्गर वाला
भाई कसम से मिकिया, मुझे खुद तो बोल रहा हूँ, मेरा वो चीज करने के बाद मेरे मन में आया कि मेरे को चप्पल से मार क्यों नहीं पड़ रही है।
जहाँ चप्पल से एक कूद की चप्पल उठा खुद के सिर में।
बेल्ट से पड़नी चाहिए, चप्पल से थोड़ी पड़नी चाहिए।
बेल्ट से भाई खेलना किसी से यार।
आज देखो कैंटा से मार पड़नी चाहिए आदि को ना, कैंटे की मार चलनी चाहिए किसी से।
और किया सरेंडर
कह रहे कैंसिल करके,
और वो भी व्हीकल में आगे कैंटे की।
चला तो हम वो लगाते हैं जब तक टीम टीडीएम लगाते हैं। टीडीएम लगा दो।
टैपू थ्रो कर जीत मत, आगे जा जाके मर जल्दी कर।
क्या गिवे को किक कर
टैपू खत्म। हाँ खत्म करके आ
जल्दी जल्दी बाहर डाइया।
टीम डेथ मैच लगाना है ना, कस्टम लगाओ
ना, टीडीएम लगा। कहां इसमें टीडीएम लगा दे, 2v2 खेल लेते हैं।
मैं खाना खा रहा हूं अनबिया,
तू बकचोदी मत कर।
तब से वॉच पार्टी करे सब कुछ, जैसी गेम ऑन की इसके पता नहीं कौन से स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं सब काम। इसने गेम ऑन करने पे ही करने थे, पहले कोई काम नहीं करेगा ये।
पहले अपने डिस्कॉर्ड से आ रहा था यार।
टीडीएम खेल में अब तू है भी मेरी टीम में, अब तेरे को मारना पड़ेगा।
Enough training. It's time.
आदि कर ले नियॉन ले कर ले मूवमेंट जो करनी।
लॉक कर
जल्दी ले।
हाय नियॉन में टिमिट बनूंगा, टिमिट
इतने सारे अल्टीमेट ऑफ लेने, इतने सारे तोड़ता है अल्टीमेट ऑफ के ऊपर।
आदि टिमिट का कैंटा भी ले ले।
चल तू कैंटा ले अपना।
ज्यादा ड्रीम प्लस कर लेते हैं ये चीज।
आदि कैंटा क्या,
मुझे कोई लेने का शौक नहीं, जानू तू ही लेते रहता है हर बार।
आदि कैंटा क्या होता है?
I'm out of here.
आदि
कैसे थे?
आदि है अपनी पॉकेट से ही है।
टीममेट का
अरे दो बार आगे किट है वो वाला
यार, डबल भी कर रहे हैं यार। ये मेरा नूब टीममेट, जल्दी आ।
सही में इसका काम जब वैलोरेंट, इसको टट्टी वैलोरेंट खेलते आती है, काम सारे वैलोरेंट खेलते याद आती है।
ठीक है भाई,
आपका डबल टैप ही खत्म नहीं हो रहा है।
आते जा रहा ना। यही इन्होंने 20 सेकंड से बाद नहीं कर दिया।
ठीक है भाई, वाकई में किया।
अब ये आ जाएगा।
ओह स्टन किया था इनको।
अरे यार
यार बुलडॉग चलो भाई कहाँ से जानू नुबड़े सामने से है ना पीछे से क्या वार करता है।
अपने घर पे तो शेर नहीं करते कुत्ता भी शेर होता है।
अरे यार ये इसकी 2 बार वो कर दिए बताए इन्होंने। नहीं यार शायद ये खत्म भी हो गया बड़ी जल्दी छोड़ के इन्होंने।
उन्होंने कर दिया बस।
क्या ड्रामा
No distraction.
हाय 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 यार जल्दी करना
बाहर निकलो
ओए नुबड़े तेरा क्या जा रहा है मारो मैं।
अरे बाहर आओ चलो आओ ना।
चलो आ जाओ फिर आ जाओ।
आया एक मिनट
चलना चलो 5 मिनट
बड़े जानो किसी से मारते हैं तो दिखाऊंगा जा।
आ जाओ यार आ जाओ।
चलो आ जाओ।
Stopping fire.
अंदर का वादिया के वालों को
क्या बोल गए इतनी करने लगा हूं मैं मुश्किल तुम्हें बाहर तक आ जाएगी एग्जिट नहीं किया तूने तो कर
दे स्टार्ट। अच्छा आपको बना ली तो
बस मेरा यूपीएस दो खाना दे दे मेरे को बस सबसे सही चल रहा है अभी।
आ गया मजा आती कि मिला कैंटा।
चुप कर पीछे से वार करता है चोर माए
चक्का कैंटा दिया पीछे से कैंटा दिया।
ये सुनेगा मैं बोलना नहीं चाहता है
भाई हेडशॉट से लाइए तेरे को भी और मिक्की को भी ठीक है बातें तो कर बड़ी बड़ी।
1-2 किल मार के खुश आता है
पर मेरे को इतना पता है मेरे से गेम में नहीं खिलवाएगा। अगर मैं डेथ मैच खेलता हूं मेरे से मैच के एंटर होता
डेथ मैच तो खेलता ही नहीं है
ये वाले ही छोटे मोटे मैच तभी तो नहीं खेलता मुझको पता है यहां मेरा एम चलेगा तो
ये तो गोल टू पहुंच गया फिर से।
अभी तो प्लैटिनम
कैरी किया इसको
मैं तो पहले ही डायमंड था
वो ही कैरी हो रहा है।
प्लैटू हो गए हो हैं क्या चक्कर है।
प्लैटू में मार्जिन से वो देख सब में ऑलमोस्ट मेरे और मिक्की के ऊपर ही किल होते हैं। कभी मैच एमवीपी कभी कुछ तू बता तेरा मैच एमवीपी कब है। वो एक में होगा आई थिंक लोटस में
दादा उस दिन मैच पानी भी पता वो ना ऑपरेटर वाला पानी भी
यार वो लोटस का पता मेरा प्लस भी नहीं हुआ कुछ भी नहीं हुआ उसमें प्लस होता है तो मेरा थोड़ा ऊपर हो गया।
उसमें भी टीम एमवीपी है मैच एमवीपी नहीं उसमें भी
जो भी है पर मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं राउंड याद करो बस वो राउंड याद
अपनी एक बार हिस्ट्री देख तू अपनी एक बार हिस्ट्री देख सबका किल रिकॉर्ड निकाल एक बार सबका।
और युवराज सिंह को भी लोग बड़ा डाउनलोड करते हैं
आज हम करते हैं एनालिसिस।
तेरे तू गिन तेरे 15 से ऊपर किल कब है
15 18 16 7 11 9 15 12 12 13 16 14 13 20 तो मुश्किल से एक बार ही हुआ 20 से पार
तो एक बार उसमें मार
वो भी मैं तो अगर मैं लाइट नहीं जाते वो तो वो भी नहीं कर पाता।
इस बार 400 पार
20 पार तेरे लिए
इस बार 20 पार
आधे विंगर पे घर पे या फिर
4-5 साल हो गए साले के होने चाहिए था अब तक यही मॉडल में।
क्या बोल रहा है टेम्पू
यार तेरे को गेम खेले हुए 4-5 साल हो गए तेरे को होंगे तेरे से मॉडल में तो कितने हुए
4-5
तू ही बोलता कॉलेज से पहले शुरू किया कॉलेज में तो 4 हुए
2020 में तो गेम आई है
तो 21 में तू खेलता है जब मेरे को तू बोलता 1v डाउनलोड करो
जब मैंने कॉलेज शुरू की जब मैं कॉलेज में था तब मैं खेलता हां
उसके पहले खेलता
तब भी लुल्ला था अभी लुल्ला
तब कॉलेज का फर्स्ट टाइम था ना टेम्पू फर्स्ट जब सर्दियों में हां सर्दियां खेलते हैं जनवरी फरवरी में जब हम आने लगे थे
और हम सबसे ज्यादा गेम खेली है इसने जनवरी में सबसे ज्यादा।
तो क्या हो रहा है एक्सपीरियंस है भाई धोनी होड़ी हार मार
एक्सपीरियंस
पर धोनी नहीं करते हैं
हो जाओ शार्ट
पहले बता धोनी बना कैसे धोनी की ऐसी इमेज बनी कैसे उसने कुछ कांड काम किए होंगे तभी बना तो
हमने कांड किए हैं हमने
तू बता शोभा की शौक डर दिखा के देखो और ये लाइनअप्स होती हैं
वो बस शोभा से वो लेता है ये चुराता है बस ऐसे नहीं बजेगा कोई सही में। कल मैं देखूं मैं कल्ला फाइट कर रहा हूँ तब से ये बंदा उधर ही रुका हुआ है कि कब वो साइड पे आएंगे मैं शॉक डार्ट करूंगा तुरंत बड़ा नूबा मुझे साइड पे नहीं आ रहा हेल्प नहीं कर रहा उधर रुको और बचा किसी को भी नहीं।
एक बार में किया 2 बंदे कट्ठे मारे हैं मैंने इस लाइनअप से और बदल मेरा सोवो आज ही मेंटल
आज कांडू क्या
मेंटल कुछ स्ट्रीम कर रहे हो आप वैसे
कोई नहीं देख रहा
बोला मेरे बोला
बस मेरा यूपीएस कृपया करके कुछ शो नहीं कर दे तंग ना करे
कोई गेम कर रहा है यूपीएस में ऐप
सारी हम नहीं पड़ेगा सीधे
मैं आईसो खेला नेक्स्ट मैच में आईसो
चुप कर अगर इसमें तेरे 20 किलो ऊपर हो फिर तेरा आईसो पक्का देख ले 15 क्या 20 ऊपर
15 के 17
नहीं 20 भाई 20 ड्यूलिस्ट के 20 से ऊपर किल चाहिए अगर 20 होगा तेरे को आईसो पक्का
सही बात है जानू के 20 के लिए जानू का आईसो
चुप कर तेरे से किसने पूछा दी बड़ी फोटो डाल रहा है कहाँ घूम रहा है दोस्तों के साथ बड़ा स्माइल कर रहा है ये तेरे कॉलेज वाले दोस्त लगे नहीं नहीं मेरे को आती जिनका तूने फोटो डाली इंस्टाग्राम पे कौन है वो बोल निकी भैया कल मैं और टेम्पू गए थे खाने डी हमारे पीछे बैठी एक लड़की
Stand with me, agents of Valorant.
भाई वो बातें कर रहे हैं बातें वो कर रहे हैं शर्म हमको आ रही है
Let's save our
गाड़ी में गए थे
नहीं कहाँ ऊपर ही बंतलाव गए थे
अच्छा तो खाना खाने वाली जगह
हो कहते भाई बातें वो कर रहे हैं शर्म मेरे को आ रही है टेम्पू आ रही है यार वन से चीटर ऑलवेज चीटर यार मैंने अपनी फ्रेंड को बोला यार उसको ट्रस्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं है उस लड़के पे ये वो
वन से चीटर ऑलवेज चीटर मैं कॉल नहीं कर रहा मैं बीट अभी ये करूं
15-20 लाख है मेरा यहाँ भी लग रहा है 15-20 लाख मेरा बाहर भी लग रहा है सोचो देश के बाहर ही चले जाऊं है ना
बीट बॉल करो नहीं करूं
मैं जिस टाइप की इंसान हूं मुझे एक्सपोजर चाहिए लाइफ भाई वो हंसी आए इतनी ज्यादा मैं आदि जैसा बंदा हूं कसम से वो तो रो भी दे 1/FK
show me a target
1/FK
no targets
smoke
APK 1/FK is APK
Spike planted.
नहीं
कोई मर
रुक जा टेम्पू
Last player standing.
फिर इन्हें मरी नहीं दी
दो
लोग दे रही केस को
पंडो क्या हो गया
यार मैं स्मोक का वेट करते रह गया
डिस्कनेक्टेड है एफके भी नहीं है वाईफाई उस गेम का जो बका चार्ज ना खत्म हो गया
गेम हो गई होगी क्रैश हुई होगी किधर
ये हंसी
पानी क्यों नहीं आ रहे हैं तेरा फे गया क्या
पता नहीं यार खांसी तो की है एक और बार
आ गया
अरे मैं स्मोकिंग मांगते रह गया
यार पता नहीं क्या चक्कर है ये
बी
Turret destroyed.
इसको डिस्कनेक्ट हुआ
आ गया आदि
बॉट चलाए ऐसे उन्होंने तोड़े
Enemy spotted.
Destabilizing.
Enemy spotted.
लेन दोनों लेन
आराम से खेल
यार फिर बहन
ये लो
Spike planted.
यार लग गई यूपीएस के फिर से हो गया काम
अभी दोनों लेन बोल रहा हूँ तेरे को अंदर है साइड के
One enemy remaining.
अरे साइड के अंदर
Show me a
अरे नहीं
यार फिर लग गए यार यूपीएस के
क्या चक्कर है
पता नहीं यार ये पावर नहीं ले पा रहे हैं पता नहीं क्या कर रहे हैं हो रहे हैं
किसी दूसरे
Then
unweave our world.
Now we're landing
लोगों की समझ नहीं आ रही है जब आपकी लाइट है तो आपका यूट्यूब पर रोल
ये forever
टेम्पो आदि ने भी फैंटम स्किन ली है दिखा दी फैंटम
क्या करूं अब इसका
कौन सी
आपने YouTube पे देखा ना क्या
मैंने चला रहा
पकड़ के देखना
टाइम
नहीं चलती
गेम ही हो गई
मिड टॉप
ठीक मत करो
नहीं कर रहा मतलब मिड टॉप पे है अभी उधर ही
होल्ड कर रहे हैं
बी में कुछ करूं
नहीं कुछ नहीं करना होल्ड कर रहे हैं वेट कर रहे हैं इसको वेट कर रहे हैं
बी में बंदा आ गया बी में साउंड है
हां वेट कर रहे हैं
बीच में कर सकते हैं बंद गया आधी मिट जा मैं देख लूंगा भी जा
ये है वो क्या नाम है रिंग में
क्या देख रहे हो ये
टाटा भाई होने वाला
मिड रीना मिड की
गन उठाइए
30 seconds left.
प्लीज देखना वीडियो
ये स्मोक है
focusing.
रिव्यू देख
Destabilizing.
Enemy
spotted A. 10 seconds left. Spike planted. Recalling my bot.
दे रहा हूं एक और अंडर हैवन आदि मार
One enemy remaining.
स्वांग करने तोड़ो और डिफ्यूज पे बैठो
लेफ्ट हो सकता है लेफ्ट है हां लेफ्ट है
Last player standing.
वाह नहीं स्मोक यूज करना वाला
बुलेट से नहीं थी मिड पे क्यों पिक कर रहे हो मैं मना कर रहा हूं पिक मत करो मार्शल लेके खड़े हैं
जल्दी आ गया यहां पे मेरी बात ले आधी घंटे
उसको वेंडल दी बेफालतू में देखना ग्राउंड निकाल दिया
मैं आपको गुस्सा आदि को बैठ रहा हूं गुस्सा ना कर दो बस निकाल दे
सबसे पहले कौन मारा था
वेंडल करनी है
मैं
क्या किया
क्यों
वो चढ़ गया यार मेरे ऊपर क्या करूं
ठीक हुआ मैं क्या ठीक हुआ
ना यार नहीं हुआ ठीक है बंद भी स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा
कुछ गेम एक साइड में
You should run. The hunt begins.
राइट में आ गए
148 लो 148 not here
Spike planted.
Show me a target.
ये 3 हो गया
स्टेट पे बंदा किया
Neutralized. My ult is ready.
I know
exactly where you are.
भाई नहीं समझ बस कैसे करता हूँ।
Last player standing.
यार हमने ऑब्लिवियस कोर्स लिया
मेरे पास 12 अच्छा सा तो
भाई ना अपना क्यों भाई ये
चलो यार स्ट्रीम बंद
अब अगले राउंड क्या करेगा भाई करके जब टीम क्या भाई नहीं है बचा के क्या करोगे?